When the unexpected happens, where you choose to live could mean the difference between thriving and struggling. Natural disasters, political unrest, and economic collapses are just a few situations that can turn everyday life upside down. That's why being prepared is crucial, not just with supplies, but with a safe haven you can depend on. This guide has one goal in mind: to help you identify the 10 best U.S. states to live in when SHTF. Not all states are created equal in a crisis. To rank the safest places for survival, we focused on 3 critical factors. First, natural resources, including access to fresh water, fertile land for growing food, and ample wildlife for hunting, are essential for long-term sustainability. Second, population density plays a major role. Areas with fewer people reduce the chances of resource competition and conflict. Lastly, state laws matter. States with regulations that support self-sufficiency, firearm ownership, and personal protection offer an advantage when the rule of law may be in flux. This video will steer you toward locations that can provide safety, stability, and the resources you need to endure the toughest times. Preparedness starts with the right location. Are you ready to find yours? 10. Florida. Florida is a unique state when it comes to survivalists preparing for SHTF hits the fan scenarios, as it balances a wealth of natural resources with some specific challenges. One of the state's greatest strengths is its abundance of fresh water. With numerous rivers, lakes, and an extensive aquifer system, residents have access to a reliable source of water, an absolute necessity for survival. Furthermore, Florida's fertile soil makes it an excellent place for farming a variety of crops, including citrus fruits, vegetables, and even sugarcane. The wildlife is diverse and abundant, offering an additional source of food for those who rely on hunting or fishing to sustain themselves. Florida's population density can vary significantly depending on the location. While metropolitan areas such as Miami, Tampa, and Orlando are densely populated and could present logistical challenges in a survival situation, the rural parts of the state are much less crowded. Areas like the Florida Panhandle or Central Florida offer vast, open spaces that are ideal for establishing self-sufficient homesteads. These areas also tend to have fewer restrictions when it comes to off-grid infrastructure like water wells or solar panels. The state's laws are another key advantage. Florida is known for its favorable gun laws, which are advantageous to survivalists who value personal defense and the ability to hunt. Additionally, the absence of a state income tax makes it an attractive location for those who are looking to maximize their financial resources. However, it's not all smooth sailing when it comes to living in Florida. The state is frequently hit by hurricanes, which can devastate infrastructure, housing, and crops. Preparing for these storms requires additional planning, such as reinforcing homes, stocking emergency supplies, and staying up to date with evacuation protocols. Nevertheless, for those who plan and prepare properly, Florida can be a highly viable option for sustainable off-grid living when SHTF. 9. Michigan. Michigan stands out as one of the best states for survivalists, largely due to its impressive array of natural resources. Known as the Great Lakes State, Michigan is surrounded by 4 of the largest freshwater lakes: Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, and Lake Erie. This abundant freshwater resource is a game-changer when considering survival priorities. Residents have ample access to water for drinking, agriculture, fishing, and other essential needs. Add to this Michigan's sprawling forests, which provide timber for building, firewood, and a haven for wildlife, and you have a state that is naturally equipped for self-sustainability. Rural areas of Michigan are particularly appealing. These low-density regions are ideal for those wishing to live off the grid, away from the more populated urban centers like Detroit or Grand Rapids. The large expanses of undeveloped land are perfect for growing crops, raising livestock, or setting up renewable power sources like solar or wind energy systems. Additionally, Michigan's northern climate includes distinct seasons that allow for diversified farming and harvesting, as well as hunting and fishing opportunities year-round. When it comes to legal matters, Michigan is supportive of self-reliant living, with regulations that are generally flexible when it comes to things like off-grid homes and gun ownership. The state's gun laws are relaxed, allowing survivalists to protect themselves and their resources effectively. Michigan also has a strong sense of community in rural areas, where neighbors often help each other, creating a support network that can be crucial in times of crisis. The robust environment and freedom to live a self-sufficient lifestyle make Michigan a prime location for survivalists. However, it's worth noting that the state's harsh winters can be a challenge, particularly for those unprepared for extended cold weather. On the positive side, this can also serve as a deterrent to overpopulation in rural areas, keeping resources readily available for those who call Michigan home. With the right level of preparedness and adaptability, Michigan offers tremendous potential for long-term survival. 8. Texas. Texas is a powerhouse of resources and freedom, making it one of the best states for survivalists preparing for when SHTF. Texas boasts fertile soil, abundant wildlife, and significant energy resources, including oil and natural gas. For those who are looking to grow their own food, the state's large agricultural areas are advantageous. Texas offers some of the most productive farmland in the nation, capable of supporting crops ranging from wheat to fruits and vegetables. Simultaneously, the state's vast wildlife population provides ample opportunities for hunting and fishing, contributing to food security. When discussing population density, Texas is a state of contrasts. While cities like Houston, Dallas, and Austin are bustling and densely populated, West Texas stands in stark opposition. Vast stretches of rural terrain in West Texas provide the isolation and space needed for off-grid living. This separation from urban centers makes it easier to establish homesteads without interference and ensures access to land for large-scale farming or ranching. Additionally, the dry climate in many areas of Texas is ideal for certain forms of agriculture and for those looking to store and preserve food supplies long-term. Texas is also known for its fiercely independent culture and laws that reflect that spirit. The state's gun laws are among the most relaxed in the country, giving residents the tools they need for hunting and personal defense. Homeschooling freedom is another major draw for survivalists, allowing families to educate their children in a way that aligns with their self-sufficient values. This legal environment promotes a sense of autonomy, which is crucial when preparing for uncertain scenarios. Texas does present a few challenges, particularly in terms of its extreme weather conditions. Severe heat in many areas, occasional droughts, and the risk of tornadoes in certain regions can test a survivalist's ability to adapt. However, Texas's diverse topography, which includes deserts, forests, and plains, means that residents have the option to choose a location best suited to their survival needs. Combining vast natural resources with a culture of independence, Texas offers survivalists a versatile and robust environment to prepare for any crisis. 7. Colorado. Colorado stands out as a superb choice for survival situations due to its abundant natural resources and strategic location. The state boasts lush forests, a plentiful water supply from its numerous rivers and reservoirs, and high elevations that provide additional safety from potential floods or rising sea levels. The Rocky Mountains offer countless opportunities for hunting, fishing, and gathering, which can sustain a self-sufficient lifestyle. Furthermore, Colorado's climate lends itself well to agricultural pursuits, as parts of the state experience abundant sunshine, even as the higher altitudes offer relief from extreme heat. One of the defining advantages of Colorado is its population density. While urban areas such as Denver or Boulder are more densely populated, the majority of the state remains sparsely inhabited. This allows for increased privacy, security, and a reduced likelihood of competition for resources during a crisis. The large expanse of wilderness provides ample opportunities to set up off-grid homesteads in isolated, serene locations that are far removed from the hustle and bustle of metropolitan life. Colorado also has laws that encourage self-sufficiency and individual rights. There are fewer restrictions on water collection compared to some states, and laws related to land use and farming tend to be favorable for survivalists. The state is protective of gun ownership rights as well, which could be crucial for defending property and resources during emergencies. Together, Colorado's magnificent natural resources, reasonable privacy due to low density, and its survival-friendly laws make it a balanced and highly practical choice. The state embodies a mixture of rugged beauty and survival readiness, ideal for those seeking both independence and security in the face of adversity. 6. Montana. Montana, often referred to as Big Sky Country, lives up to its nickname in both grandeur and practicality for survivalists. With its expansive landscapes of fresh water, fertile soil, and dense forests, Montana offers an environment rich in natural resources that are essential for sustaining life in difficult times. Its rivers, such as the Missouri and Yellowstone, ensure access to fresh water for drinking and irrigation, while its fertile plains are ideal for growing crops and raising livestock. Additionally, the wide variety of wildlife makes hunting and fishing viable options for sustenance. A key advantage of Montana is its remarkably low population density. It's one of the least populated states in the U.S., meaning there's ample space for those who wish to establish off-grid homes or secluded survival retreats. The open land and vast wilderness mean you won't have to worry about tight-knit clusters of people competing for limited resources or causing overcrowding during a crisis. A sense of solitude in Montana also provides peace of mind, as the likelihood of encountering aggressive or opportunistic individuals during a breakdown of order is significantly reduced. Montana's legal environment is highly supportive of self-reliance and personal freedom. The state is known for its strong support for individual rights, including property rights and firearm ownership. These legal frameworks make it easier to live off-grid, manage resources independently, and defend your homestead when necessary. Many isolated communities in Montana are already accustomed to living in self-sufficient ways. fostering a culture where survivalist living is not only accepted, but also widely respected. What makes Montana particularly appealing is the unrivaled sense of space and freedom it offers. Here you'll find yourself surrounded by picturesque landscapes and unspoiled nature that simultaneously serve as a sanctuary and a resource. For survivalists, Montana is a dream destination, offering endless opportunities to thrive no matter the circumstance. 5. Idaho. If self-sustainability and independence are priorities, Idaho emerges as a shining example of an ideal survival haven. With its vast forests, fertile farmland, and rich deposits of natural minerals, Idaho's natural resources are second to none. The state's large tracts of forest not only provide timber for building and fuel, but also offer opportunities for foraging, hunting game, and setting up sustainable woodlands practices. Meanwhile, Idaho's agricultural strength ensures a robust capacity for growing crops, which can support both individuals and small communities during challenging times. Similar to Montana, Idaho benefits from a low population density, which helps reduce competition for available resources. Vast stretches of land remain undeveloped, offering excellent opportunities for individuals or families looking to establish isolated and secure homesteads. This reduced density also means you can enjoy a peaceful and protected environment, minimizing the risks associated with large crowds or densely populated areas in the event of a societal breakdown. The legal environment in Idaho is particularly appealing to survivalists. The state strongly respects private property rights, which is a vital consideration when establishing an off-grid lifestyle. Idaho is also known for its permissive gun laws, making it easier to own, carry, and use firearms for self-defense and hunting purposes. With these freedoms enshrined, you have the tools you need to defend your property and manage your resources effectively. Idaho's top features make it an amazing destination for those prioritizing independence and preparedness. The combination of abundant natural resources, respect for personal liberties, and wide-open spaces makes the state ideal not only for survival, but also for prospering in self-reliant living. Idaho perfectly encapsulates the survivalist spirit of freedom, independence, and determination to endure. For Utah, when considering states for self-reliance and survival in a shit-hits-the-fan scenario, Utah makes the list as one of the most ideal choices. Its balance of natural resources, favorable legal framework, and opportunities for independent living appeals to those seeking preparation and sustainability. Natural resources play a crucial role in survival, and Utah offers an abundance of essential elements. With ample water sources such as rivers, lakes, and springs, as well as forests providing wood for fuel and construction, the state ensures access to the basics of survival. It's important to note that Utah's water resources are often concentrated near mountainous regions or in specific areas, so carefully choosing a location is paramount. Additionally, the diverse landscapes, including deserts and mountains, provide varied environments for hunting and foraging, an invaluable asset should food supplies become scarce. Low population density is another advantage for those seeking to live off the grid or become self-sufficient. Utah doesn't have the overwhelming crowds or intense competition for resources seen in more urbanized states, giving preppers an opportunity to secure a piece of land and develop it as they see fit. Privacy is also a significant benefit, allowing individuals or families to build their homes and systems free of frequent interference or scrutiny. From a legal perspective, Utah's state laws are notably favorable for preppers and survivalists. The state permits rainwater collection, which is critical for ensuring a sustainable freshwater supply in an emergency. Furthermore, Utah's hunting and fishing laws allow for reasonably easy access to wildlife resources, provided appropriate licenses are obtained. Whether replenishing food stores or maintaining a stable source of protein, these regulations work in favor of the survivalist. Finally, Utah's emphasis on self-reliance culminates in its appeal to those seeking independence and sustainability. The state has a history of pioneering and subsistence living, and many of its residents are familiar with food preservation, farming, and other practices beneficial in times of crisis. This culture and mindset make it easier for like-minded individuals to come together, share knowledge, and build support networks for long-term survival strategies. 3. Wyoming. Wyoming is widely considered one of the best states for those who prioritize privacy, resources, and freedom, making it an excellent choice for survivalists and preppers. Natural resources are abundant in Wyoming, starting with its wealth of fresh water provided by numerous rivers, streams, and lakes. Water is essential for both drinking and agriculture, and Wyoming's natural water sources ensure that even in adverse conditions, access should remain reliable. The state is also home to robust wildlife populations, offering excellent hunting opportunities for species such as deer, elk, and antelope. Fertile soils in certain regions also support small-scale gardening and farming ventures, providing the means for self-sufficient food production. With the lowest population density in the entire United States, Wyoming is a haven for those in search of vast open spaces and solitude. For preppers, this means land is plentiful and often affordable, with minimal competition for ownership or resources. The opportunity to create and develop large homesteads, grow crops, or even engage in livestock farming is unmatched, all while enjoying unparalleled privacy and freedom. This level of isolation is invaluable for limiting exposure to potential threats in a SHTF scenario. Wyoming state laws reflect libertarian principles, emphasizing limited government intervention. The state's regulations are straightforward and minimally restrictive, allowing for rainwater harvesting, home development projects without excessive bureaucracy, and strong protections for gun ownership rights. A well-armed population is better equipped to secure property and defend against potential threats, whether from wildlife or human intrusion. Wyoming's overall appeal lies in its balance of resources and freedoms. For those planning for worst-case scenarios, its low population, abundant resources, and supportive legal environment make it a prepper's paradise. Unlike more industrialized or crowded states, Wyoming offers room to breathe and the autonomy to build your self-reliant lifestyle without interference. 2. Alaska. Alaska stands out as one of the ultimate destinations for survivalists due to its incredible natural wealth, low population density, and cultural emphasis on independence. Though the harsh environment may intimidate some, seasoned preppers recognize it as an opportunity to harness immense potential. The sheer abundance of natural resources in Alaska makes it a survivalist dream. With over 3 million lakes and thousands of rivers and streams, fresh water is readily available almost everywhere in the state. Alaska also boasts a rich variety of game animals such as moose, bear, caribou, and fish, especially salmon and halibut, which can supplement food supplies sustainably. The rugged, untouched wilderness provides ample opportunities for hunting, fishing, and foraging. The vast forests contribute wood for building shelters, making fires, and crafting tools, further cementing Alaska's appeal to those focused on living off the land. Alaska's extremely low population density, among the lowest not just in the United States but globally, is another standout feature. With more than 1 square mile of space per person, residents seeking solitude will find all the isolation they need. The combination of vast uninhabited areas and limited competition for resources creates an ideal setting for building a homestead or pursuing a completely off-grid lifestyle. State laws in Alaska support individual freedoms and prioritize self-reliance, which is evident in the distinct pioneer-like mindset of many of its residents. Hunting and fishing regulations are straightforward, often emphasizing sustainable use of resources. Additionally, Alaska allows homesteading on public lands, providing opportunities to claim and cultivate property for survival purposes. Importantly, the state encourages firearm ownership, a critical aspect of protection and food sourcing in its rugged environment. Finally, Alaska's unique challenges can't be overlooked. But for those prepared to face the cold winters and remote isolation, the rewards are immense. Stockpiling and advanced preparation go hand in hand with thriving here, but the potential for living sustainably and independently makes it worth the effort. Those who succeed in Alaska often develop a deep connection to the land and a heightened sense of resilience, setting it apart as a premier location for long-term planning and survival. 1. Maine. Maine stands out as the top choice for anyone preparing for a potential SHTF hits-the-fan scenario. Its extensive coastline not only offers an abundant source of seafood like fish, clams, and lobsters, but also adds accessibility to water routes if transportation or trade is necessary. The state's vast forests provide ample opportunities for hunting and gathering, with a rich variety of game and wild edibles. For those interested in self-sustaining agriculture, Maine's fertile soil supports farming, making it feasible to grow food and survive off the land. Additionally, Maine's low population density plays a significant role in making it an ideal location for survivalists. With fewer people, there is less competition for resources, and it's easier to maintain privacy and security, which are vital in high-stress survival conditions. The wide open spaces allow for building off-grid setups like solar-powered homes or private wells, while offering peace and quiet suited for self-sufficiency. Perhaps one of the most attractive features of Maine is its state laws, which are favorable toward the prepper lifestyle. Its live and let live philosophy fosters a culture of independence and respect for personal boundaries, making it easier to establish and maintain a sustainable way of life. For these reasons, Maine epitomizes the balance of resources, freedom, and space needed to thrive in an SHTF scenario. Conclusion. When preparing for an SHTF scenario, finding the right location is one of the most critical decisions to ensure long-term survival. The U.S. offers a wide range of options, each state presenting its own unique advantages and challenges for self-reliance and preparedness. From the abundant natural resources of Alaska and Maine to the libertarian freedoms of Wyoming, these top states provide the tools and opportunities to build a safe, independent lifestyle. Whether prioritizing isolation, climate, legal freedoms, or resource availability, there's a location to suit nearly every prepper's priorities. Choosing wisely means not just surviving, but thriving in the face of uncertainty.